What if the love of your life walked back into your world after 30 years? This is the story of Jake and Emily, two people who fell in love as teenagers, lost each other to time, and found their way back when they least expected it. Jake and Emily met in 1985, their junior year of high school. He was a quiet guy who played guitar. She was a girl who always had a book in her hand. They didn't mean to fall in love, but it happened anyway. They spent every moment they could together, sneaking out for milkshakes after football games, writing notes in class, making promises under the stars. One of those notes, crumpled and yellowed now, still exists. Emily, I don't know how love is supposed to feel, but if it's just laughing until my ribs hurt, or you stealing my fries even though you ordered your own, then yeah, I love you. Jake. Life pulls them apart. After graduation, Jake got a scholarship out of state. Emily stayed behind to take care of her sick mom. They tried long distance, but back then, there were no texts, no video calls, just expensive phone bills and letters that took too long to arrive. One night, after months of missed calls and silence, Emily wrote Jake a letter she never sent. Jake, I think we're holding on to something that's already gone. I love you, but love isn't always enough, is it? Emily. They drifted apart. Jake moved on, got married, had kids. Emily did too, but neither of them ever forgot. 30 years later, in 2018, Emily's husband passed away. A year later, Jake's divorce was finalized. One random Tuesday, Jake found an old shoebox of letters while cleaning his attic. And there they were, every note Emily ever wrote him. He didn't even know if she was still out there, but he found her on Facebook and sent a message. Hey, it's Jake. I don't know if you remember me, but I found some of your letters. Just wanted to say hi. Emily stared at the message for an hour before replying. Of course I remember you. They met for coffee. 30 years had passed, but the moment they saw each other, it was like no time had gone by at all. Jake smiled. You still steal fries? Emily laughed. Only yours. And just like that, they were back in 1985. But here's the thing. Life isn't that simple. Jake has kids. Emily has a career in another state. They're not teenagers anymore. They've got responsibilities, pasts, scars. Do they take the risk and try again? Or is love just not enough this time either? Want to know how it ends? Stay tuned. For weeks after that first coffee, Jake and Emily couldn't stop talking. They texted every day, called late at night, laughed about old memories, and confessed the things they never said back then. One night, Jake sent her a voice message. Emily, I never stopped loving you. Not really. Even when I was married, even when I had kids. There was always this part of me that wondered what if. What if we had fought harder? What if we hadn't let go? Emily listened to it 3 times before responding. Jake, I thought about you every single time I heard our song on the radio. Every single time. But love isn't just about feelings. It's about real life. Jake's kids were grown, but they didn't understand why their dad was suddenly so happy about some woman from his past. His youngest, Lily, asked him point blank, Are you trying to replace Mom? Emily's job was in another state. She had built a life there. Friends, routines, a home. Uprooting everything at 50 wasn't simple. And then there was the fear. What if they were just clinging to a memory? What if the people they were now didn't fit the way they used to? One evening, Emily dug out an old journal from high school. Inside was a letter she had written to Jake, but never gave him. She took a picture and sent it to him. Jake, I don't know what the future holds, but I know I want you in mine. No matter where life takes us, promise me we'll find our way back to each other. 17-year-old Emily. Jake's hand shook as he read it. He called her immediately. We made that promise, and we broke it once. I don't want to break it again. A month later, Jake drove 6 hours to Emily's city. He showed up at her doorstep with a single piece of paper, a job offer he'd applied for near her. I'm not asking you to give up your life, he said. I'm asking if I can be part of it. Emily looked at him. The same boy she fell in love with, now a man with gray in his hair and wrinkles around his eyes. What if we're making a mistake? She whispered. Jake took her hand. What if we're not? Do they take the leap and finally get their second chance? Or is some love just meant to stay in the past? Emily stared at Jake standing on her doorstep, holding that job offer like a love letter. Her heart pounded the same way it had when they were kids. She let out a shaky breath. You'd really move here? Leave your family, your life? Jake shrugged, a small smile playing on his lips. I lost you once because I was too scared to fight. I'm not making that mistake again. They decided to take it slow. Jake rented a small apartment in her city, started a new job, and they spent weekends together, cooking dinners, watching old movies, relearning each other. Some things were different. Jake hated sushi now. Emily had become a morning person, but the important things, still the same. One night, as they slowed dance in her kitchen to a song from 1986, Emily rested her head on his shoulder. This feels too easy, she murmured. Jake chuckled. Easy? We took 30 years to get here. Lily, Jake's daughter, finally agreed to meet Emily. It was awkward at first, polite smiles, stiff conversation. But then Emily mentioned Jake's old habit of eating peanut butter straight from the jar, and Lily burst out laughing. He still does that. Slowly, the walls came down. One evening, Emily found Jake staring at a photo of his ex-wife. She didn't say anything, just sat beside him. I don't regret my life, he said quietly, but I always wondered. Emily nodded. Me too. On their 1-year anniversary of reconnecting, Jake took Emily back to their hometown. They sat on the hood of his car at their old lookout spot. Just like they used to, he pulled out a ring, simple, timeless. I don't want another 30 years without you, he said. Emily didn't hesitate. Took you long enough, she teased as the sunset painted them gold. They got married in the fall. Jake's kid stood by his side. Emily's best friend from high school cried through the entire ceremony. And that unsent letter Emily wrote all those years ago, Jake framed it and hung it in their bedroom. Sometimes love isn't about perfect timing. Sometimes it's about two people stubbornly refusing to let go, even when life tries its hardest to pull them apart. Want to see real-life love stories like this? Hit subscribe for more.